Sometimes I'm not getting that credit. You know what I'm saying? It's still not enough. Well, even from, me and her mother, we're on good terms, but sometimes it's like, oh, but yeah, that was cool, Lou, but can you send this? I'm gonna do that, because as a man, I'm gonna make sure everything's good. But sometimes it don't hurt to just be like,
well, let me ask you,
doing good.
Who you want credit from?
My daughter.
That's who I want credit from.
I don't care. I don't care about anybody else.
Marcus, you don't do nothing around here but pay bills. I say, what? She say, you don't do nothing around here but pay bills. She acting like I only pay Wi-Fi.
I don't think this could get any more clear. I'm so happy I have these two videos for us, because it don't get no, it's like you will see a man that's growing, a man that's learning, a man that's adapting, a man that's evolving, and then you will see the opposite. You will see the men that they're just like, like they don't know what the heck's going on, but it gets no clearer than this. I ain't gonna even hold y'all. I see why y'all don't want to see me on these shows, man. I ain't gonna even hold you. If y'all, if I was sitting here, the conversation would have got contentious, because I would be the same person. It would be a problem, because I would be like, I'll tell you. Let's get through it.
You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes,
And I got good kids.
Goes back to a question you asked earlier. You was like, how do you feel sometimes as a man? Do you feel like you get just due? No. I'm gonna be honest. I be in my house all day. I cook, I clean, I do schoolwork, I take them to track practice, I do everything. Like, when it comes to that fatherhood shit, I do everything. And you know what's the first thing people say? You know, how could Dina, she need a break. She got all them boys. And
real quick, why are you so consumed with getting your just due? Like, I don't understand that. And a lot of men feel like that. A lot of men, because obviously you're performing, right? And you want a round of applause. I'll be honest with you. My babies don't ever have to thank me for nothing. I don't know how else to tell you this. I don't, like, those kids are not here by choice. They are here because you want them here. Why would they ever need to thank you? Like, I want you guys to understand that your children, in my mind, listen to what I'm saying. My kids literally never have to thank me. Never. There's nothing I can do for my kids where I could, in my mind, I could rationally conceive that, like, I went above and beyond. So they would, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they could thank. Now, if they thank me, great. Well, my baby thanks me, great. Now, there's a difference. Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between my children being content, you see what I'm saying, and always asking for more, versus them needing to thank me. I couldn't care less if my son thanks me. Meaning, I'm still going to fulfill my duties, and I'm still going to be just as proud, and you know what I mean, and all of that stuff on my baby. But it would be different if every single time I did something for him, he was on some like, but can you do a little bit more? And we know how kids are, right? That does get annoying, no doubt about it. You like, man, God damn, I just took your ass to you know what I'm saying? Like, did we just go to, whatever. We just spent 8 hours, whatever, right? Cool. That's different. But again, I never need my babies to thank me. I don't need my wife to thank me for the things I do for my kids. I don't need my wife to thank me for the things I do for her. These are all things that I signed up for. Why in the hell would they need to thank me for? Why would I need my just due? I don't understand.
My wife does her fair share. There is no she does more, I do more. We both do.
Of course, she does more.
When you asked about how we feel as fathers, I honestly don't feel like fathers get enough just due. Because I'm just as guilty, yo.
Let's talk about that.
My father was dead. And the minute I got an opportunity, I thank my mom for everything. And I thank my mom.
Now, real quick, since you're the one who thanked your mom, this is the thing that I hate about men, how men will throw their mothers under the bus and exalt their fathers. So your father was there. Nobody's denying that your father was there. I'm here. I mean, my baby is in the other room. My baby is sitting down playing his iPad. I just got done talking to him. I just kissed him on his forehead. His mama outside putting a chair together. Like, we all here in my house, right? In our house. They're here every day. I'm here with them every single day. My wife still spends 3 times more time with my kids than I do. Still. I'm here. I'm physically here. But I'm not present. I'm not present. I'm not as present as she is. I'm here, but I'm not as present as she is. I don't know if you guys just saw that joke, that video, that skit that Jess Hilarious just dropped. It was hilarious because it is true. But I think it was something, the caption read something to the effect of like, men beg for a family and then act like this. And it's a video of her like going into a room and she like, hey, we all in the living room. You want to come out here? And, and he like, yeah, I could be out there in a minute. I'm in here just chilling. And she like, yeah, and we all chilling in the living room. Basically, the lives of men go like this. Men go to work, right? Just as much as women do, right? We work 40 hours, they work 40 hours, whatever. Maybe we work 45, they work 40. Whatever, let's do that. Cool. But all of our leisure time, downtime, whatever you want to call it, all of the time that we are in the home, we spend very little with our family. I'm guilty of this as well. My wife has consistently, and thank goodness, she has consistently told me to be more present with my children. And guess what? Listen, I need to be more present. So guess what? I'm more intentional about spending time with them. I try hard. And it doesn't mean that I still don't have days and moments when I'm like withdrawn or like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I'm way more aware of what she's talking about. I'm not sitting here fighting her on that shit, because at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening is them babies going to grow up and they going to think they mama and not think they daddy. And you going to feel some type of way. I'm not. I'm not going to feel some type of way, because I completely understand what happened. But a lot of you men, y'all lying to yourselves, and this man about to lie on his own mama to exalt his daddy, to make himself feel better and look better as a father. Listen.
Just as guilty, yo.
Let's talk about that.
My father was dead. And the minute I got an opportunity, I thank my mom for everything. And I thank my mom and everything in part because my father was the one holding me accountable. So during the time, it was, and I'm just being honest, it was almost like I'm not even going to thank him. And
your father was the one that was bullying you and abusing you. And you call that accountability. Same shit with Shaq. I just got done doing a video with Shaq. He was talking about how abusive his stepdaddy was. He didn't say abusive, but the things he described, abusive. What you looking at? What you crying about? Punch you in your That's not accountability. That's abuse. Go talk to my son. I brought my son on several times. Ask my son how him and I communicate. Y'all can talk to him without me around. He can read, put it in the chat. I'll go live and put my son on. Y'all can talk to that kid and ask him, hey, how do you communicate with how does your father communicate with you? Has he ever punched you in the chest? Has he ever yelled at you about anything? Does he demean you? Does he put you down? Does he? Ask him. He'll tell you. I ain't gotta tell. I'll take the baby word for it. He'll tell you out his own mouth. I will leave the room. No code. I just bring him in here. Y'all can talk to that baby. You do not have to bully your fucking kid, man. You don't have to hold your kid accountable. That you're saying, this is what I'm saying. Again, you throwing your mama under the bus. If you telling me your mama wasn't the one that was like, son, you need to do your homework. Son, you need to eat your vegetables. Son, you need to make sure that you clean up your room. That's not accountability. Exactly. You are equating abuse with accountability. You're whitewashing the abuse that your father did to you. You're romanticizing it. Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that. Don't help nobody. Let's be real. Tell the truth. Don't mean you gotta hate on your daddy, but what I'm sick and tired of though is y'all tearing down y'all mamas to build up y'all daddies. That shit is weird. That shit has to stop. Has to stop.
I didn't realize how that could be coming across to him.
I feel that way often. It's because my wife is such an amazing mother. Yeah. Sometimes it's like when you be busting your butt, hopping these planes, and you know what I'm saying, you tired, but you gotta go make that check. You gotta, like all my kids graduated college with no bills. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna take care of everything, but a lot of times it does feel like, like yours. That, oh, thank you, but mama. And I want to know how y'all feel about that.
I'm dealing with that right now with my daughter, like
because you're not there. That's why. If your kids act like that, it's because you're not present. That's why. Now listen to this. Listen to Lou, and I love Lou. No shade, no tea to Lou. Shout out to Lou. Lou pretty much the only man up here I fucks with. I'll be honest with you. I don't like none of the rest. I don't like Kurt Franklin. I don't like old boy that was just talking. I don't like DC Young. I don't like none of these dudes, to be honest with you. I'm talking about beyond their platforms. Like I just don't like them. I don't rock with them. I could just tell their aura is off. I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Lou I fucks with. Lou more humble. He seemed like a motherfucker that just be going through some things, trying to work through it, right? Maybe I'm giving him a pass. But after hearing, this is the first time I've ever heard of him speak of this before too. That maybe that's what it is. With these other dudes, I've had intimate knowledge of their relationships and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, these niggas is bad. But Lou, this is the first time I'm hearing about this. But listen to the story he tells about his daughter and the relationship he has with his daughter.
I'm on the road. First of all, I live in Atlanta, right? My daughter lives in New York. I'm in New York.
Strike one.
Probably twice a month, outside of work. You see what I'm saying? I got to travel. I just was in Green Bay for the draft. As soon as the draft ended, I tell them, fly me to New York, I got to pull up on my baby, right? When I go there, I make home in that city in New York. Hotel room, we do all the things. I'm taking her to school, whatever. I'm busting my ass to get through these planes to you to make sure that daddy's present. And
Lou, can I ask you a question, brother? If you ever see this video, why do you live in Atlanta and your daughter lives in New York? Out of curiosity. You have a platform, and I could be wrong about this, where it's pretty self-sustained. To me, it seems like you can do your work anywhere. You can live in LA if you want to. You can live in Miami. You can live in New York. You can live in Atlanta. It seems like you living in, and maybe it is a little bit. Maybe it might actually be a little bit harder for you to do your work in New York. But if your daughter lives in New York, right? Why not move to New York? I'm just out of curiosity. I don't know your struggle. Just curious, brother. No judgment.
through these planes to you to make sure that daddy's present. And some days, sometimes, I'm not getting that credit. You know what I'm saying? It's still not enough. Well, even from, me and her mother, we're on good terms, but sometimes it's like, oh, but yeah, that was cool, Lou, but can you sit in this? I'm gonna do that, because as a man, I'm gonna make sure everything's good. But sometimes, it don't hurt to just be like,
well, let me ask
doing good.
Who you want credit from?
My daughter.
That's who I want credit from.
I don't care.
That's
I don't care
the
about
thing
anybody
that
else.
bothers me, man.
Sometimes I get it. Sometimes,
you know what I'm saying?
Sometimes it's like,
So let me ask y'all a question, men, gentlemen. This me, I'm there. I'm acting like I'm there, y'all. Look. So my question in this moment would have been, so where do you think that this is an unnatural or natural reaction? Meaning, these are kids, right? Do you think they are deliberately not clocking that you are showing up for them? Or do you think that possibly this is just a natural reaction to you not showing up enough? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would your mind instantly go to me? It sounds like y'all are like, it's the kids. Y'all are blaming the kids for not giving you the credit you feel like you deserve. I'm saying, well, logically they're kids, so it's not like. And you just said that you're on good terms with the mother. The other man lives with the wife. You see what I'm saying? My wife can't force my son to feel a certain way about me, good or bad. She can't do it. That's why I don't believe in that parental alienation shit. Because if my wife started to tell my son that I show up for him and but I'm not showing up for him, he may not say anything about it, but he'll feel that I'm not showing up for him. You can't You can't mind fuck a child. You can't gaslight a child into believing that the parent is showing up for them. And that's what I feel like you're trying to do, Lou. And all you guys, like that's what's going on, Kirk, Lou. You guys are trying to gaslight the children into believing you're showing up for them. But the children are just reacting to the lack of attention you were showing them. That's their natural reaction, is to not give you credit, the credit you feel like you deserve. You see what I'm saying? The natural reaction is, Mama, come here. It's the same thing with my dog, right? And kids aren't dogs, but it's the same thing with my dog. My dog loves my it's a hierarchy in my house. Clear. My dog, my wife is number one. I'm number two. My youngest son is number three, and my oldest son is number four. The reason why that is, though, is because my wife spends the most time with my dog. She feeds my dog the most. She bathes my dog the most. She maintains my dog's life more than I do. My dog is in here right now. Teddy is laying right here next to me. Teddy loves me. That's my pup, right? I feed him. You know what I'm saying? I spend time with him, but not as much as my wife does. Imagine me feeling some type of way, though, because every time my wife comes home, he want to go lay next to her. He want to go be next to her. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand. And if I want that to change, which I don't care if it changes or not, right? But if I wanted that to change, you know what all I would have to do? Spend more time with him, feed him more. I walk him. I'm the only one that walks him. I'm the only one that walks him in the house. I walk him and I feed him and I give him water. But if he needs 2 meals a day, if he needs 2 meals a day, which equates to 14 meals a week, right? I give him 4 of the 14 meals. I refill his water bowl, a quarter of the time or less than that, right? A fifth of the time compared to my wife. My wife does that more than I do. And he sees it. The dog sees it. It doesn't kids see that shit. They see who feeds them every day. They see who sits down and does the homework with them. They see who cares about them the most via how they communicate with them. How they're not trying to always hold them accountable, aka bully them and abuse them. And they see who is more patient with them. The kids see and feel all of this shit. You can't trick them. You can't gaslight them into anything else. The only shot you have is raising a son, and then 20, 30 years later, he turned out to be one of these types of dudes that be up here lying on they mama to exalt their daddy, because now they're a daddy and they're acting the same way or similarly to their father, right? And instead of them putting themselves in the position or identifying as the child in the scenario, they now identify with the father because they're more like their daddy now. You dig what I'm saying? Instead of them going back to when they were kids and going, well, the reason why I said, thanks mama first was because of all the things that I just said. She spent more time with me. She loved me. She nurtured me more, yada, yada, yada. Instead of you doing that, you go, no, the reason why I did that. And then you don't even give a reason. They've never given a reason as to why the kids are doing that. They're just saying the kids are doing. They're not like, but what other reason is there outside of you're just not showing up as much as the mother, sir? That's the reality. The reason why the babies don't give you the children don't lie about this stuff. They're not lying, fam. If your babies aren't giving you your just due, that's a you problem, not the kids problem. And this is how selfish men are. And men get in an echo chamber like this, and nobody challenges this thought. None of these men challenged this thought. I would have been lighting their ass up. And the funniest thing is, I'm just like them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like them. Like, definitely, I'm like them. I've been called out for not being a present father. I've been called out for not being a present husband. But I want to be better. So I accept it. So now I can work on it. Now I'm being better. Now my wife, hey, you've been showing up more. Oh yeah, you take the kids. I've been noticing you doing this and that more. Thank you. And I'm not doing it for the kudos, but she definitely, gives me my just dues. And she also don't mind, or you know what I'm saying, telling me when I'm also slipping again. Like, hey, you ain't, you back in that, you know what I'm saying? You going back in that man cave mode where you lock yourself in the bedroom, or you find a way to go outside for 3 hours and you go to the store for 2 hours and shit. I talk to so many men that have that same story. Yeah, man. Or it ain't even the men. The men will tell the story too. But I talk to their wives, and the wives will be like, where do you go for 2 hours when you go to Target? You say you're going to the store, you don't come back for 2 hours. Ladies, tell me, am I lying? Y'all not experiencing that? You never experienced that from your men? Ask the women, bro. I'm telling you, this shit is not, it is not rocket science. Men be avoidant as fuck. Men be wanting families as like, they want the families to exist like in the closet, like a tool that we can take out and play with when we want to, and we put it back in the closet when we done with it. But that ain't how families work, fam. That ain't how wives work. It's not how children work. Then the kids get all growed up. And when they ain't, thanks, Dad, giving you yo just dudes, now all of a sudden you want to go on a fucking podcast and start talking about I feel like men don't get their props. Bet.
I got good kids. Now, mind you, don't get me wrong. My kids are wonderful. But it is interesting that we're all talking about. Sometimes it feels like that they kind of detour around us.
Yeah, because you're supposed to as a man.
I mean,
as a father, you're supposed
like
to.
We all done it. Like, 'cause I even done it. Like, my mom, like my daddy stayed in the hood too, but my mom stayed in Adderville, my daddy stayed in Bankhead. I always thought my daddy was a little bit better because maybe my daddy was a little bit more financial. Stable than my mother, but if I ever got mad over here, I'm gonna go to my dad's house. But I know I ain't gonna be over that long because I gonna last over here for 2-3 days. It's
not the same.
I'm coming over here to get this satisfaction. And
Right,
be like,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a better living.
Absolutely.
I'm going back over here where I can do what I want.
Wow.
Because even though it's a better living over here, it's like I'm in here by myself. And it's not saying that he's not watching me. This is just the way that he handled his business. I sat right there and watched him. Now that I'm grown, I'm like,
making excuses for his daddy not being present. In 4K, exactly what I'm saying. He wasn't, just call a spade a spade. It wasn't like he wasn't present. That's why. That's why.
my daddy had a life. He had a purpose. I was just so happen to be his child.
Wow.
That's deep too, though, because a lot of people don't realize that.
Wow.
As a father, I do have a whole.
You got a whole.
Yeah.
I feel that's
hold on. I was just so happy to be his child.
You know how?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's
deep.
That's good.
That is good.
You know, as a matter of fact, let me ask you this then. With that, let's talk about.
Men are not human. I'm sorry, y'all. This isn't human. This is a robot conversation. That wasn't deep. That was sick, what he said. Like, what? What are you talking about? You have children. My father has a purpose. I don't believe in purposes. I don't. I believe in obligations, right? You have a child, that is your obligation. Your child is your obligation. How you fulfill your obligation varies from child to child, situation to situation. Working, you got to provide, you know what I mean? You got to be whatever. Cool. I get that. But your obligation now becomes that child. Number one obligation, because it's a human life, and that child never asked to be here again. Him making excuses for that, here they go. Wow, that's deep. That's so profound. It's not. That was not profound, fam. That was him making excuses for his father neglecting him. What the fuck?
The other woman in our lives.
As far as
Here it come. Here, hold on, Lou. Hold on to yourself, Lou. Here it come.
Hold on, let me take this back.
You ready?
Take this back. I missed the question. I'm talking a lot. I know. This shit got me up in arms though.
Hold on. Let me tell you something. That's
deep.
That's good.
That is good.
You know, as a matter of fact, let me ask you this then. With that, let's talk about the other woman in our lives.
as far as
Here it come. Here. Hold on, Lou. Hold on to yourself, Lou. Here it come.
you got me nervous.
You ready, Lou? Huh? Because all five of us, all five, married or single, we still got this issue with this other woman. She got our heart, she got our attention, she got our focus.
I know where you're going.
And she can be a nemesis to them kids, to that other woman. I mean, and it's like, and we love her. My God, we love her, my boy. How do we deal with that love of career, our calling, our gift, that thing that keep us up at night, that thing that pulls us away from them at times.
It's a purpose. It's once you understand your purpose, then you have.
Stop using purpose. The red pill misogynist, you guys have to stop acting like this is like some spiritual awakening or bro, you're just making an excuse for it. That's not your purpose isn't to go tell jokes. My purpose isn't to make videos and to make content. That's not my purpose. That's a job. It's your job. That's great. Your job can kind of intersect with your purpose, but your job almost never is actually your purpose. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is not you have kids. Again, the number one, if you can have more than one purpose, but a purpose is it's all encompassing. A purpose isn't one thing. It can't be one thing because life is multifaceted. So how could your purpose be to go on the road and tell jokes or to sing songs for people? That can't be your purpose. That could be a part of it. That can't be your sole part. That's correct. Y'all don't even understand the words you guys are. I'll be honest with you. You're misusing the word. It doesn't make any sense.
Have to understand peace within self.
But what about the fact that the kids don't always understand?
No, it comes again to like what I just said. I was already born. My life was written already. Your life is written. I don't know what's in store for you, a part of this lineage, but the God I serve, I know you're gonna be taken care of. So we have to be more attentive when it comes to fathers.
If you believe in the same God as Kurt Franklin, I just got to clock this. Your life is not written because we have free will. You can't have free will and your life be written at the same time. It doesn't make sense. So if you have free will, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like those books, the adventure books where it would be like, read like which paragraph do you want to choose? And then that would give you the next part in the book or whatever. It will take you to a different place. You read paragraph 1, it'll take you here in the book. If you read paragraph 2, it'll take you there in the book. That's how it is. Choose your own adventure books. That's how our life is. Like our life isn't predetermined. Our life is a bunch of choices. Now, God can foresee the choices you're going to make if you want to say that, but I'm saying even if you believe in God or the same God that Kurt Franklin believed in, our lives aren't predetermined. That's crazy. That's crazy. It is you. What choices are you making in your life? What environment did you grow up in? Things of that nature.
So if we think something is missing, we step in. It's a lot of things we may want, we're not required to get
from
anybody.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's like, and we have to be appreciative when we do get
whatever we get.
For whatever we get. You see what I'm saying?
Man, listening to men complain about I'm so sick of it. It's like every day I just find a new video of men just complaining about the problems that they created. The reason why nobody is giving you credit is because you don't deserve it. The reason why life is so hard is because you don't ask anybody for help, but then it's weird. Men don't ask for help, but they expect it. They don't ask women to help them. They just expect women to help them. That's the thing about men. We're not vulnerable with women, but we expect women to be vulnerable with us. Like we take and take and take and take and take. And then since we don't ask for it, then we get away with this idea of like, we don't ask anybody for shit. You see what I'm saying? Since we don't come right out and ask a woman for help or whatever the case may be, she's just helping us. We can always kind of like lean on that and be like, I never asked you for no help. Yeah, that doesn't mean that I didn't help you though, because women feel needs where they see the need. They just go fill it. They just go fulfill it. They don't wait on somebody to tell them, hey, go over there and fill that need. Hey, I need your help over here. Women just get up and go. They go, oh shit, they're struggling. Let me go help them. Oh, I'm right here. Let me help you. Okay. You want to put it up on the shelf? Okay, cool. Let me help you put it up on the shelf. Oh, that glass broke. Let me help you sweep up that glass. Let me go get a dustpan. Men make you ask so they could take note of it and throw it in your face later. You always asking me for shit. My baby mama always asking me. She wouldn't have to ask you for shit if you just gave it to her. Right? If somebody is asking you for something, that means you already failed. If your partner has to ask you for something, you're already failing. If your child has to ask you for something, you're already failing. That's just the reality. Now, shout out to the men that get it. Shout out to the men that's growing. Shout out to the men that's listening to their partners and becoming better people and healthier people. I respect those. I respect those brothers. I do. This is one of them. I've just come in contact with his content. I don't know. I know people gonna be like, I've been watching it for you. I don't know him from Adam. I just saw some of his stuff. I went to his page. I looked it up. Seems like he's putting some stuff together, right? He's putting some stuff together. That's the best way I could describe it.
It's the reason why your Bible say guard your heart. Yeah, guard your heart. It's telling you, man, it's gonna be some things said you ain't gonna like. I didn't even know I had feelings until I got married. Good luck finding them when I was single. I ain't had no feelings. Yeah, when I was out there dating 2 or 3 of them. Okay, 4, 5 of them. You know how I go. 4, 5. Yeah, I was out there. And so, I ain't had no feelings. Man, I never been hurt by a woman until I got married. I was shocked I had feelings. Man, what is wrong with me? What is wrong? I remember the day it happened. My wife was in the kitchen. She was chopping up something, trying to get some food to eat, and we were just talking. It really wasn't arguing. We were just talking, whatever. And then my wife said this here. Now, my wife, she's standing like this. She had his foot like this. And she was like, Marcus, you don't do nothing around here but pay bills. I was like, what? She said, you don't do nothing around here but pay bills. She acting like I only pay Wi-Fi. I pay all the bills. That was my...
And that's what men bank on that. You guys already know, men love to be the providers so they don't have to be anything else. Isn't that an easy job? Like, think about that. That's such an unfair trade for women. That all you get to go out, get all the glory, have all the money, have all the financial control, right? And she gets what? A house, a car, some clothes that she will be able to do. She would get those things on her own with or without you, but you wouldn't be able to do the things you're doing without her. How is that a fair trade-off? I'm not understanding.
Gift to my wife. You hold me down for 5 years. I'ma hold you down for life. That's just my gift. Now, when she said that, I was perplexed. Because I know people in my mama era and above, I'm not saying they worship a man that pay all the bills, but they really adore him.
They didn't. They hated that man. Just so you know, they hated that man. Again, every single day, every single time y'all get on the internet and lie about the women of the past and act like they just loved and appreciated those men so much, I'm going to correct you and tell you to go listen to the women who are still alive, who were alive during that time, and listen to how they talk. Listen to how they talk about those men. They didn't like those men, fam. They didn't like your grandmama. Didn't like your granddaddy. She would never tell you. My grandmama never said anything bad about my granddaddy. Matter of fact, she never said nothing about that man, which is a telltale sign. My grandmama never said anything about my granddaddy in my presence. I learned about my granddaddy from my father. I learned about my granddaddy's character from my father. That's how I learned about that man. My grandmama did not like my granddaddy. I know that without a doubt. There's no way she could have. Not after what he did to her. Them women didn't like them men, fam. Stop that. They didn't like them. We got to stop that.
They really admire him. Oh, but this new girl, boy, you don't do nothing around here but pay the bills. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, that hurt me because all I ever wanted to do was free my wife up. She didn't have to worry about no money. And I found out that what I really wanted to do for her didn't mean much. So that stuck with me for about a couple of years. But I found out what she meant in the pandemic. In the pandemic, you know, I wasn't working. You know, a lot of you churches had shut down on me. Churches had shut down on me. And so, you know, I wasn't working, so I was at home a lot. And though I wasn't working, she was still at work, right? She was still struggling with them kids, taking them to school, doing homework, all this type of stuff. Mommy, I'm sick. And I be like, you know, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Let me know we need to copay. I mean, you know, I don't know nothing, right? So one day,
think about that. His own kids, mommy, he's openly admitting this, so I'm not putting words in his mouth. His own kids are sick, and he like, let his mama, let mommy handle that. You think that how does that make sense? Like think about that. Even if they're paying all the bills, what is it at? Like, that's what I'm saying about fathers. We disassociate ourselves. We distance ourselves from our children. We want to be able to pick our kids up when it's the fun time. When it's time to play sports, we go drop them off at practice. We go sit with them at practice because we're in the sports, right? We only hang out with our sons when it's time to play video games with them, right? When they was little and they needed us there, changing diapers and whatnot, no, we wasn't there for that, right? Now when they older, now they fun. Yeah, now they're fun. Now I could imprint onto them everything that I wish somebody told me, or now I could live vicariously through them. Now they're fun. But when they get sick, no, I don't want to deal with any of the hard stuff. I don't want to cook for them. I don't want to clean up after them. I don't want to console them when they're down. I don't want to do their homework with them. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to take them to the doctor. I don't want to make doctor's appointments. I don't want to go to the school. I don't want to talk to the teachers when they're struggling. Like, I don't want to do any of that. That's mommy's job. Give them to me when they're fun. We treat our children like we're the grandparents. Like, that's how grandparents are. And I don't mind that, right? Because it ain't their kids. I don't mind a grandparent being on some like, hey, this baby crying, come pick him up. You dig what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, I want them to console them if they can, but if they can't, and the baby's unconsolable, come pick them up. I don't mind it. That ain't their baby. That's not their baby, right? But that's how men are. Men are like grandparents. Come on, man.
Erica was struggling with our daughter, Charlie. Struggling with her this morning. Charlie, be still. Charlie, stop. Quit. All that type of stuff. So I don't know if it was the spirit. I don't know. Something hit me. And I said, hey, babe, I'm going to take Charlie to school today. My wife said, for real? I said, yeah, I'm going to run up there. My wife said, okay, thank you, babe. So she got Charlie together. I put on my little stuff. Get Charlie put in the truck. The school just 3 minutes up the road. All right? 3 minutes up the road. We get to the school. But what's up with this drop-off line? Let me stop right here. What is this drop-off line about? I mean, why it takes so long, dog?
He ain't never lied. The reason it takes so long is because the parents don't ever be ready, and they be rubbernecking and they want to talk. You know, we all be complaining about how long it takes, but then when it's your turn to get your kid out, your kid ain't ready to get out. Then the kid get out, you want to talk to the people that, oh yeah, how you doing, Mrs. Johnson? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he doing good now. Yeah, the rash uncleared. Oh God. That's why.
I want to tell Charlie, hey, get out the truck, look both ways, walk across the street. You'll be okay. I did it my whole life. Let's just walk across. It's a 3-minute drive to the school, but a 30-minute in the line. It's so dumb. But anyway, I take Charlie to school, drop off. I get back to the crib, open the door. Is that bacon? Was that eggs? Grits? Toast? I walked in, I said, babe, what's up? She's like, well, you know, I cooked a little breakfast, you know, for us. I said, sure. We ate. We sat on the couch, you know, catching up on our stories, Yellowstone, you know, yeah, Ozark. You know, we watching all the stuff, you know, all our little shows at that time, and we doing that, and then we just having a good little pandemic day. And then it got about 3:30, and my wife said, oh, I gotta go get Charlie. I said, no. I'll get her. Back up to that school. Hey, what's up with this pickup line? I mean, what is another line? Y'all didn't drop off this many kids? What's going on? Yeah. And let me tell you something, just because somebody hurt your feelings don't mean they were wrong. Yeah. Yeah, your feelings just hurt. Tell your feelings to lift weights. Tell your feelings do some push-ups. Yeah.
Men don't be showing up for the women or the children. And we make a ton of excuses. The only difference between him, me, and those dudes I was just talking is that gentleman and I both have accepted that we need to do better. That's it. We all are falling short. All the men that me, them, we're all falling short. We've all fell short, right? Only difference is I'm like, oh, I need to do better, and I'm doing better. That dude's like, I need to do better, I'm doing better. They're like, I'm just not getting enough cookies. These kids, man, you know, they just, for some reason, they just love their mama so much, and not me. That's the difference. It's the accountability. It's the accountability that y'all love to talk about, but never like to actually exercise. That's the problem. Let's start exercising accountability in our lives. Let's do that, y'all.